It starts with Surdick, the close defenseman. They have arguably the strongest, most underrated short stick defensive midfielders in the country. And then when the team does get a shot off, A.J. Barretto is so steady in cage.
Strength versus strength. Penn has a great offense. What components do you love about Penn's offense?
What don't I love? They have so many pieces of the puzzle. Dunn, two-way midfielder. Simon Matthias, the senior attackman. Goldner, inside finisher, electric hands. And then the freshman Hanley. He does it all. He led the team in points.
A great matchup of strength versus strength, but there's also a shot of Reed Junkin, starting goalie for University of Pennsylvania. All he did was lead them to an Ivy League regular season title and tournament title. That's an accomplishment for any guy.
Yeah, he has been there seemingly forever, maybe since Ben Franklin's been around. He is just tremendous in big games, so clutch.
You mentioned A.J. Barretto. Look at some of those stats. Is he impressing you?
What I love about him is he's just so steady, Booker. He doesn't really get too high, doesn't get too low. He's really a microcosm of how this whole team approaches the game.
Let's look at head coach Mike Murphy of the Penn Quakers. Has done a tremendous job in his 10 seasons here. And with one more win, he will become the all-time winningest coach in Penn lacrosse history. Congratulations, Murph. And there's Joe Alberici in his 14th season, a school record 13 wins for Coach Alberici out of Auburn High School. There's a disadvantage here, Ryan, and it's at the face-off dot. We're going to have to see Army throw the kitchen sink at Gallagher from Penn.
Yeah, Gallagher really has an opportunity to make this an uphill battle for Army, but they're used to it, Booker. They've been playing like this all season.
Ethan Baranigan facing off for Army, and as anticipated, Penn gets right on the offense. Tyler Dunn, number 3, the Swiss Army knife for the Penn Quakers. He can do it all.
Yeah, you'll see him do a little bit of everything. He'll play on the wings on face-offs. He'll play offense. He'll play defense. Tremendous player.
And Dunn goes up high to save possession there. As we see number 26, Sam Handley on the offside. He gets it from him. Goes left alley. Handley, great pass, unable to be handled by Matthias. And the Black Knights come away with possession. Penn with an unusual turnover right there.
Yeah, but the thing that jumped out there, Gallagher, that first face-off win, and Army holds serve. So that is really going to be the pattern that we're looking at. We expect Penn to have a huge advantage from a possession perspective, but this is nothing that Army doesn't expect. They've been playing like this all season long, and they rattled off 3 wins in 6 days.
Nicholas Garifano gets it down. And this is DeWitt. They play a little pass on the right alley and save Junkin. Now we'll see if Penn wants to run or slow down as McKelrick throws it back. Ryan, let's look at your Penn keys for victory for the Quakers.
Yeah, we talked about it. Army does not like to slide. They are going to challenge Penn to run by somebody on offense. You've got to win those one-on-one matchups. And the other thing is Penn's got to get the ball cooking in transition. I expect that guy right there, B.J. Farrar, to really be a key to that. Get the ball up and out, attack before Army is set up.
Simon Matthias, 45. Great pass inside, and it's backed up by Lully. Penn is right back on offense. Junkin making quick work of that save. Ryan, we want to talk during the day about sometimes saves are shots or turnovers. Is that an example of one, the last Army shot?
Yes and no. As Army has another stop, it's 2 turnovers for Penn early, but Army gives it right back. They're ill-advised. They cannot turn the ball over. They're going to get so few possessions here. But Booker, back to your original question, anytime a clean save, that is basically as good as a turnover.
Penn back on offense. Alex Rosner, little fake flip. Rosner out of Loyola Blakefield High School in Baltimore, a team that just advanced to the semifinals in that division.
Rosner converted attackmen, so they love getting him involved in a 2-man game.
Trail check there by the Black Knights defenseman Jordan Cole. And Lully recollects. This is Kivek Postel, number 11. He gets it all the way over, and this is Dr. Roz, they call him. Alex Rosner gets high side shot, goal, Rosner. 1-0, Quakers.
We talked about Rosner being a converted attackman, and he shows off those moves. You'll see him not afraid to dodge against the long pole. He'll go underneath, and then right here he plants and then rolls back, and that's where Hudgens makes a mistake. He overcommits with that push and that check, and then Rosner rolls with that check, increases his angle. Beautiful three-quarter arm shot.
And the placement of the shot. You talk about A.J. Barretto being a great goalie. Every goalie's a little bit weak, low to off-stick side.
Yeah, not much that A.J. could do on that one.
Right off the post. Rosner makes it 1-0, and here we go with the face-off issues that we anticipated. Penn playing make it, take it lacrosse as Goldner, number 20, gets it behind, and this is Lully. Sean Lully was 16 goals, 16 assists, and Barretto robs him there. I thought he had the inside angle. Great little stick fake. And Army is back on offense. Gunnar Phillip, number 55, doing the clearing, and now number 90, James Pryor, freshman out of Melville, New York. St. Anthony's High School.
Yeah, Army will go 4 deep. You know, Pryor, George, Cole, and Horace. Not a lot of teams have that type of depth.
And this is Pryor. Cross the field pass. Army looks to recollect, and they do. Now we call out of bounds, and it's going to be Penn ball. Let's look at that save by Barretto. He almost baited him to go off stick high right there. Great shot of the Penn huddle. There's Coach Murphy giving his guys a little bit of advice. They have a couple turnovers. They're going to clean it up on our way.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Some fabulous old shots of the oldest two-tier stadium in the Western Hemisphere. Franklin Field, home of the Penn Relay since 1895. Red Grange set an NCAA record at Franklin Field when he rushed for 331 yards in the University of Illinois' 24-2 victory over Penn back in 1925. Tremendous history all about this field, and another turnover. Ryan, is there some anxiety in this sloppiness?
Yeah, potentially, and I think that's why the timeout was called, to just get everybody to take a deep breath. They drew something out. They just weren't able to connect on that pass. They've just got to settle into this game, Booker.
Junkin, low pass. And one of your keys for Army was repossessions. That's a nice little chance to look at one as we'll get into that. Last little tidbit for Franklin Field. Jim Thorpe played here as Carlisle Indian School trounced the powerful University of Pennsylvania team 26-6 back in 1907. Party shot save, Junkin bounds. Nickturn tries to gather Silva on the scene, and it's right back to University of Pennsylvania. Junkin doing a nice job. And this is Noah Lehman, had a couple injuries, number 41 for Penn, out of nearby Haverford School.
Army playing some complimentary lacrosse, so while they weren't able to cash in, they were at least able to set up their defense.
Hanley passes it over, and it's now 2-0 thanks to Tyler Dunn. Low to high rip. Patient offense leads to a great scoring chance for the Quakers.
Hanley's showing why he's so special. You'll see that on that roll dodge. He just barrels in. You have to respect him as a shooter. And what sets him apart is his vision. So you help adjacent. He diagnoses the defense, makes the easy pass to Dunn, who lets one rip. But Hanley is just a matchup nightmare.
In our conversation with University of Pennsylvania coach Mike Murphy, he paralleled number 3 Tyler Dunn to Chris Flynn, who starred for the Penn Quakers and Team USA back in the 80s and early 90s. And here is Tyler Dunn. Penn 3-0 on faceoffs. Not a shocking statistic for us, Ron.
No, and this game could just come down to a kind of a mathematical problem. Penn might just have so many possessions that it's too much for Army to overcome.
Bartolo shot, goal! 3-0, Quakers. Bartolo out of Norwalk, Connecticut, attended Hotchkiss, and Coach Alberici contemplating a timeout, but he's got great leadership on this squad.
You'll see the two-man game. Hanley sets a pick. He's actually, quite frankly, I'm surprised that wasn't a moving pick. He might have got away with one, but just enough of a rub on Pryor. Bartolo sets and delivers. You can see the palms up from Barreto saying, where's the slide? Somebody go. But this is where you see the depth of Penn offensively and the luxury that Gallagher provides at the faceoff X.
Speaking of faceoffs, Army sends out number 31, Evan Condon. Penn scored 2 goals in 25 seconds. And Gallagher again, quick work of the faceoff as Kivet Postel gets it over to Simon Matthias. Penn playing downhill right now. But Army's familiar with this. It'll be interesting to see how composed they can stay, or can Penn keep their foot on the gas.
And just to put things in perspective, they won 3 Patriot League tournament games. They won 12 faceoffs, and they only gave up 17 goals. That is truly remarkable.
Rosner across the top, and Goldner, number 20, gets it behind. A lot of bounce passes so far, Ryan. Goldner collects, Postel over, and Matthias rolls back inside feed. There's that crushing defensive Army. And Pryor looks to wheel. They've got some numbers if they want them. Transition, lacrosse at its finest, shot over the cage.
And this is what's so challenging for Army is you create a little bit of transition, but you've got to be able to cash in because every possession, if you don't catch it, you might not be seeing the ball for a few minutes. So you want to be aggressive, but you also want to give your defense a break. It's really a tightrope you're walking at all times.
Connor DeWitt and Brendan Nichtern, 2-man game up top. DJ Farrar, the freshman out of McDonough School, settles up on him. Nichtern rolls back shot, save Junkin. And DeWitt scoops for the Black Knights. Here's Sean O'Brien. Let's look at the Army keys, Ryan.
Yeah, first the repossession. So you just saw what I'm talking about. That reset off the rebound. Army needs to get a bunch of those 50-50 ground balls. Any sort of rides, okay? And then quality over quantity. They've got to make every shot count.
Quality saved by Reed Junkin right there, and a nice collection of the loose ball by Kyle Thornton, the junior defender out of Chaminade High School. Penn now looking to run. Low shot, low to high. Can I get a witness? Adam Goldner and Coach Alberici wants to talk it over with his Army Black Knights. We saw transition at one end, shot goes wide. Transition at this end, shot goes in. Let's look at this.
Yeah, this is exactly how Penn wants to play. Pace and space go from defense to offense, and Goldner is pretty much about as automatic as it comes across the country. This kid has got lightning quick hands.
Goldner with goals in 24 straight games. Let's look at his bio. Second team All-Ivy League this year, and he also was on the All-Tournament team. Just 180 pounds.
50 goals coming into this game. 50 goals.
Now, you're Coach Murphy at Penn. What are you telling your guys right now? Gas on or patience?
Gas on. This game is going exactly according to your plan. Win at the face-off X. Just basically out-possession Army. Be ultra-aggressive. You can take more risks because you have the ball that much more often. Meanwhile, if I'm Army, right, this is exactly what my nightmare was. We've got to take care of the ball. We've already had multiple turnovers. We can't afford those.
And some shots that were turnovers. But now let's look at Penn's season recap and how they got here. We talked a little bit about how they lost their first 3, all to very good competition, and then they started rolling heavy like Danson and Highsmith.
Yeah, all 3 of those losses against tournament teams, 2 by 1 goal. But this senior-laden class, the leadership, they took the lessons from those games and then won some tight ones down the stretch.
Look at the last 3 seasons. They go from 7-6 in 2017 to 11-3. How?
Well, I think a big part of it is the pieces of the puzzle. Certainly getting the Ivy League Rookie of the Year, Hanley, is a big part of it. Number 15, BJ Farrar, he's everywhere in transition. The maturation of a Simon Matthias, Ivanchik, also a strong cover guy. And then I think there was an underrated hire. You know, when Coach Myers left to take the head coaching job at Lafayette, they got Abbott in as their offensive coordinator, and he has done a phenomenal job.
Procedural violation will award it over to Army and chalk up a face-off win for the Black Knights. Brendan Nickturn, number 20, freshman star for the Black Knights. Coach Justin Ward, one of the offensive coaches, sings his praises constantly.
For anybody watching at home that thinks that, Army can't come back from this, they scored 6 straight in the Patriot League Championship to come back and beat Lehigh.
Great top center feed. Army reaches around to shoot it. Mac Manown, the junior out of Rhode Island. And here's Nickturn starting it at X. 37 seconds on the shot clock, plenty of time. Nickturn right side. Here's Manown. Gets it across to Garifano. Garifano pump fakes. Back to Manown. BJ Farrar squares up on him. Manown loses it on the inside, and that's going to be a push.
And I think a smart push. You'd much rather have a push from behind there as opposed to giving up a goal. And certainly Silva, so crafty around the goal crease. Also the best point distribution in the country, my favorite at least.
He's alluding to Miles Silva out of Ponte Vedra, Florida. Ray Carnicelli tells me he doesn't get a lot of assists for all the right reasons. The ball in and out of the stick of Silva. Silva, 38 goals, 0 assists on the year. And here comes the Quakers. Simon Matthias now. Kyle thinking the long stickman stays in. Matthias gets it all the way across. And back in, Mitch Bartolo. He gets it to Hanley. Nice defense on Mulqueen. And it's back to Hanley. Hanley drives left side, turns, slips, and a timeout by Coach Murphy with 3:54 to go in the first quarter. Ryan, is this possession worth a timeout? Is that what's so vital that he called that timeout there?
I think you can be a little bit more liberal with your timeouts in the first half. He sees an opportunity. They're up 4-0. They've really got, Army exactly where they want, so they're just a momentum builder and save a possession.
The face-offs were going to be an issue. We knew that when this game was scheduled. But let's look at Gallagher and what he's been able to accomplish.
Yeah, Gallagher, really since the Ivy League tournament, he has been on fire. He went toe-to-toe with T.D. Erlin of Yale and really got the better of T.D., which is a huge reason why Penn was able to win that championship, and he has just continued that unto today. Look, we knew this was something that was clearly in Penn's favor, and it was really a matter of can Army withstand just the barrage of possessions.
And you said it earlier, it might just come down to a mathematical equation of we didn't get the ball half the time they did.
Yeah, and that's why Army has to be so efficient from an offensive perspective. And as much as we're trying to make this a kind of a defense versus offense, you know, Penn's defense is pretty good too. I mean, they got Reed Junkin and Cage as a senior, so it's not like their defense is a slouch.
Barreto with just one save on 6 shots. Penn 4 goals by 4 different scores as we see A.J. Barreto.
I mean, it's not like Army hasn't had their opportunities. I mean, the possession battle right now is only 9-7 in favor of Penn. So despite all those face-off wins, Army has had their chances.
Coach Murphy, Coach Albarisi, 2 coaches who fully understand they're in the business of helping young men become the best possible version of themselves while also incorporating that into helping the team become the best possible version of itself. Here's Bartolo. Goes against Pryor. Gets a little edge. Now it's done inside, backhanded. Not up in here. A.J. Barreto with a great save. We get a crease violation. A little pushing and shoving. I'm not putting you on my Christmas card list, says Lully. And breaking out into the clear, Anthony George, D. Mitty Jr. out of Culver. Nice pass by Barreto to a breaking Manown. And Army still looking to take the lid off the goal.
So they're running O'Brien 32 out of the box. That's an attackman. This is a good matchup for Army.
Penn defense collapses well there, and now it's over with Liam Davenport. Davenport left side. Nick Turner looking to feed. Gets it to Manown. Manown on Farrar. Shot. Never made it to the cage. Looked like it hit Miles Silva, his own teammate. Army now 0 for 7 shooting.
Army usually only goes about 4 offensive midfielders deep. So the fact that Davenport came out, the fact that O'Brien came out, that converted attackman, or the 4th attackman rather, it shows that Army's trying to pull out kind of their bag of tricks, see if anything works.
Rosner gets it to Lully. Sean Lully, the sophomore, drives right side, gets a half a step. Slide comes momentarily. The Charlie pass knocked to the turf. We got a bit of a hot mess as the ball goes on the ground, and there's one of those repossessions you talked about, Ryan. And that is the 5th turnover by the Penn Quakers, and here comes Army looking to run as Anthony George gets it to Manown.
Strong defensive hold there by Army. Love the double team on the roll dodge. Great chance to catch that offensive attacker by surprise and cause a turnover.
Nicholas Garifano out of Yorktown. Isolated up top. Jitterbugs to his right. Draws a slide. Army has him on the carousel shot. Ow! And that's going to be Penn possession, no doubt about it. Your officials today Dave Picassaro, Brian Lien, and John Murphy. Official timekeeper, Carmen DeJohn Domenico. 30 seconds left, first quarter. It's been a lot of up and down, Ryan, but it's ultimately been all Penn as far as putting the biscuit into the basket.
Yeah, and I expected for them to hold for one here.
Mathias looks to turn the corner, gets a cross-field piece. This is Hanley, shot, goal! Sam Hanley, feeling it. Bringing it, slinging it, and stinging it. That is Lacrosse 101. Great pass. And Hanley knows how to do it.
We highlighted this kid from the onset. You'll see Mathias, the strong dodge. It's going to eventually, end up with that man right there, and he just barrels in. He's just too big, too physical, too much to handle. The immediate roll and shot. Coach Murph loves it. He's looking at this scoreboard thinking we're going into the second up 5 goose egg.
5 goals by 5 different Penn Quakers. That is team offense, and Gallagher wins it. And of course, Pryor takes it away, lobs it down the center, and that'll do it for the first quarter. In the books, Penn shooting, scoring, making plays. There's Hanley. He's had a nice day. Penn, great shooting. So far, the steely-eyed snipers are wearing white. Tonight we have UFC 237 from Brazil. Rose Namajunas defends her strawweight belt against #1 contender Jessica Andrade in the main event on pay-per-view. ESPN and ESPN Deportes will have the prelims starting at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. To order the main event, go to espnplus.com/pay-per-view. There's your bracket. Loyola advanced, Yale advanced. We have another Ivy League team going at it right now. Penn taking on Army. And let's look at Sam Hanley, Ryan.
Well, what do you do, Booker? He's a converted attackman that used to run the show behind the cage. So if you slide to him, he can distribute. And then if you don't, he says, okay, I'm going to use my 6'5", 215 frame, barrel in, get my hands free, and let it rip. He is just such a physical presence, but with the IQ to match.
And now Army has sent out their 3rd different faceoff guy, number 77, Kyle Byer, out of Morris Plains, New Jersey. And he'll be going against Penn's Gallagher. Kyle Gallagher, just a junior, but a face-off stud. Gets it to B.J. Farrar. B.J. Farrar, a star who really started to shine lacrosse-wise after his junior year at that Under Armour All-American Underclass callback game. The highest level of play you can see of underclassmen. I was there watching. B.J. Farrar took the game over. Here's Tyler Dunn. Gets up Mathias. Great stick play by number 40, Johnny Surdick. And rides it down onto the ground. And here are the sticks. Tyler Dunn comes back up with a rolls flip shot. And Barreto will get the backup.
Gotta love the intensity of some of these ground balls. Those are the types of 50-50 plays that Coach Alberici really pointed out to us leading up to this game that they had to win.
Nice handle by Connor DeWitt to touch it in. And DeWitt will take it all the way behind the cage. Tyler Dunn, the short stick behind on him. And here's Garofano. Garofano gets a little bit of a step. Defense of Penn's Alhanchuk. And it's back with Manown. Manown going against Farrar. Manown inside shot, goal, roll inside. And that is good. The Black Knights find a way to rip the lid off.
Manown, no stranger to tense moments. He had the overtime game winner against Navy. He loves that little underneath move, and I love his reaction, Booker, after he scores here. It's almost like the kid getting his, get caught with his hand in the cookie jar. He's like, what? No, that wasn't towards the goal mouth. I'm going to sprint away. I love that he's
Nothing.
Like, I'm not even here. I'm not even going to give the official an opportunity to see where I land. I'm going to get out of there. But great job, individual effort by Manown to break that ice. Let's see if that gets Army cooking here on offense, because they've had the possessions. They've had the opportunity.
Army ends a 16-minute and 53-second goal drought. That Postel, number 11, gets it over. Chardy. Wraparound, but too much A.J. Barreto. And A.J. Barreto is one of those guys, small in stature, but everybody looks up to him. Nice pass out to Matthew Horst, the freshman. And they balance it out. This is Nate Jones, number 28 for Army. Gets it to DeWitt.
If Army's going to keep this rolling, you got to get Nickturn involved, number 20. I'd love to see them try to change that matchup. Ivanchik is really strong on ball.
DeWitt comes, turns the corner.
Let Jones fly, Nick Jones.
Great save, inside rebound. You talked about Ivanchik as a great, strong athlete. He holds the Connecticut high school football sack record that was previously held by Dwight Freeney. So I think he is, right, say he's strong. Strong to very strong. Outside roll, count it. Army's Sean O'Brien, the junior. And 5-2, Ryan's got a little itch to it.
There is no fight in this Army squad. They've come back time and time again. We've highlighted the 3 games in 6 days. They're going to pull out all the stops, and this was one of their keys in that Patriot League tournament run. O'Brien out of the box. He's their 4th attackman. They'll pull him out and try to exploit a short stick matchup, which they did right there. You'll see him now. He's staying on for the face-off, but he adds a little dimension to that offense. The ability to dodge from behind against that short stick. Beautiful question mark dodge there.
Tyler Dunn scoops the loose ball. He's a black belt in Taekwondo. And Ryan, interesting stat of the day. Army's out shooting Penn 12-10.
Well, we talked about quality, not quantity. And they need to be efficient. They need to have a high shooting percentage. Not getting it done right now. But Penn and Junkin are a big part of that.
7th turnover of the day for Penn as we see Johnny Surdick, number 40, great defenseman for Army, go and scoop that ball and just simply do the right thing with it.
Now watch Army through their sub game here. They're going to try to sneak on Nickturn against a short stick. So good creativity there by the Army offensive staff to give their team some advantages.
Nickturn, it's a fraction of a step. Shot just wide. Piper Bond, number 54 for Penn, D'ing up Nick Turn.
But I really like what Army did there from a schematic standpoint. I'd love for them to swing the ball back and try to get to Nick Turn again since he's not matched up with Ivanchik.
Silva gets it up top. Here's Nick Turn. He looks for the skip pass. Too much on it. Penn possession. And there is a shot at Coach Alberisi, and now Reed Junkin as Penn looks to clear. You mentioned Mike Abbott doing a nice job for the Penn coaching staff. Casey Aketa, also former first-team All-American from Maryland. He's joined the Penn coaching staff. He's in his 3rd season. Casey Aketa out of nearby Conestoga. This is Hanley. Rolls back, gets it down. Lully. Oh, great stick check. You talked about the short stick D middies, Ryan. They came to play today.
Yeah, number 90 Pryor, great story, motivational story. Well, hopefully we'll get to later, but he is just an incredible athlete. And look for his development moving forward in the transition game. I think there's a lot of upside to him on offense as well.
Simon Mathias now. Dodging against Surdick. He relinquishes the ball very quickly. Surdick, he scares the living daylights out of some attack. Nice pass, nice shot, nice goal. Adam Goldner had 50 goals on the season coming into today, and he is adding to that total. Assist from the Charty.
Pull out your stopwatch at home, folks. This kid has got arguably the quickest release in all of college lacrosse. And what I love about it is there's no wasted motion. He catches the ball behind his body, so he is able to whip it back out. He plays with a shallower pocket, which you don't see a lot these days, Booker, right?
Yeah.
Everybody plays with huge whips and huge bags. A shallower pocket so he can get the ball in and out quickly. One of the most overlooked things from a shooter is your release time. It's not always necessarily how fast you shoot, but how quickly you get it out of your stick.
Like old Todd Curry did back in his Syracuse days. His son Brendan Curry saw his season end today. Todd Curry had a release and he played with tennis racket. Penn winning faceoffs. What's new? Mathias possesses against Surdick. See the respect. Done with a token head bob. Done feeling it.
Like the Incredible Hulk, right? You just don't make him mad. So another strategic twist here. Army is shutting Hanley with a short stick, which then allows their pole to play another midfielder.
Bartolo gets a step.
Expect Hanley to get involved in the pick game.
This is Lully. Inside feed, bobbled. Penn gathers in the front of Hanley. Hanley draws the slide, moves across field. Now Lully, top center, shot clock at 16. Lully shot on cage, that'll get a reset. And Barreto comes out to get it, and Surdick collects.
Awesome hustle there. Awesome hustle. Well, that looked clearly like a Penn reset. Barreto comes out of the cage to make that one-on-one ground ball and challenge that.
Manown straight down South Street. Oh, what a save by Junkin. Not up in here. Slide it on back. Junkin gets it right to Tyler Dunn. And Penn gets the clear. Goldner gets it up, and this is number 9, Joe Licciardi. Let's look at the save here on the left side as Penn, Alex Rosner settles things.
The left side of your screen here. Your Junkin, it looked like he anticipated that. You almost saw it coming before the shot was taken.
Inside feed, no good. Rosner collects the loose change and then has it taken away. Barreto scoops. Eighth turnover of the day for Penn, but no mind. It's 6-2 Quakers. Now Barreto launches it high and wide. Great chance for his defense, Ryan, to really show we got your back, man.
Yeah, an unfortunate mistake there for Barreto. Doesn't make too many of those. And Penn comes right back in the attack. So this is where you see Penn's able to just take a lot more risks.
Sam Hanley rolls back to his left. He could go both ways. Shot over the cage.
It is getting a little chippy down there, huh? Some sticks are swinging, some bodies are flying.
It's the playoffs. You can't hold anything back. Hostel gets it to Licciardi. Licciardi hesitates. Now they're swinging around. This is Matthias. Left side. Plants. Turn shot. Goal. Simon Matthias. Over 50 points on the year for all the right reasons.
This is the matchup, the one-on-one battle that we highlighted. Surdick on Matthias. Surdick got him earlier. Matthias one-ups him here. You'll see him get to the middle, continue to increase his angle, and by dropping his hands, he's able to change levels and catch Barreto a little off guard. Penn is rolling.
7-2 Penn over Army. Ryan, we've had some great plays so far, some highlights emerging.
Yeah, we really talked about this one-on-one matchup. Mano y mano, Surdick and Matthias. There you see Surdick able to create the low-angle shot that Barreto gobbles up. This time, Matthias runs by Surdick. You can see him trying to catch up at the end, but a little too late, and Matthias buries it. Just an unbelievable one-on-one matchup between those two seniors.
Look at those stats. Surdick, 34 caused turnovers, Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. Matthias, 31 goals. Matthias, 58 straight games with a point and 35 straight games with a goal. Hashtag baller. Penn gets Dylan Gagar, number 40, into the run. Pennsylvania 10-1 in faceoffs. Rosner to Licciardi. Gagar tries to get a step, ball goes on the ground, and Army still has sticks in passing lanes. Rosner, and that could be over and back it is. Ryan, explain the over and back for us.
Yes, certainly. After the 80-second shot clock gets to 60 seconds or below, the ball is not able to go back to your defensive end. Just the same thing in basketball. The only wrinkle there is in the first 20 seconds you are allowed to go back.
Manown behind for Army. 4:25 to go. Second quarter.
Army hitting another kind of lull. They had 2 goals in their first 2 possessions. Since then, a bunch of turnovers and some missed shots.
A 7-minute goalless drought, and credit the Penn defense with some great ball. Ball bounced high in the air, and now we get a ground ball pickup by Garofano.
No reset of the shot clock, but a huge ground ball for Army. They've got to be aggressive in the last 20 here.
Manown against Farrar. Hesitates. BJ Farrar. Oh, what a great play by Manown! And that is clearly a goal. Individual effort. You see Coach Murphy kind of shrugging it off. That's why it's not soccer. You're not going to win 1-0. That's a great play.
Almost a carbon copy from early. It all starts with a hustle play. The ground ball, Army scraps, comes up with this to keep their possession alive. And then Benown, he just loves getting underneath. You can see him take that extra step, dive away from the goal mouth, which are legal. Great call by the official, great execution there by Benown.
Gallagher just feasting on face-offs today.
Benown put himself in Army lacrosse lore with that overtime game winner against Navy on a very similar shot. Really one of his signature dodges by Benown. Oh, great jail check by Pryor.
Pryor comes up with a loose ball. See if Army can capture a little momentum as the clock winks below the 3-minute mark. 10th turnover of the day for Penn. Hard to believe they have a 4-goal lead. And they go right back to the hot hand of Matt Benown.
Yeah, and for all of Penn's success offensive with the goals, those 10 turnovers are really what's keeping this game relatively close, Booker. You alluded to it. Only a 4-goal game. It feels like this lead should be bigger.
DeWitt sweeps righty. And he teaches us all right there that just because you sweep doesn't mean you have to shoot, right? Maintains possession, gets behind on Tyler Dunn. Dunn who does everything. Shot clock at 20, and now they got it! 7-4, Army closing the gap. Nate Jones. Army crowd liking that.
You'll see the little two-man game behind the cage, eventually gets the ball to O'Brien, the fourth attackman. And if you're gonna help off of anybody, this is the one sharpshooter that Army's got in the squad. Nate Jones, the slick lefty, he can sling it. And the Black Knights are in business.
Despite a wild discrepancy at the face-off dot. And now they're mucking it up a little bit. Always a good strategy. Ball pinballs at the top of the Army box. Sticks flying, turnover created. Nice interception by McElrick.
They're not out yet. Whoa. You'd love to see Hudgens go back with that ball, right?
Yes.
All you young defensemen out there, when you're kind of caught in a helter-skelter clear, look back.
Yep. And you would think McElrick, the native of British Columbia, a province that produced the great Tom Marachek and the Gate brothers, you'd think he'd have the poise to go back with it, but he almost created another turnover for the Quakers. Matthias gets a little step on Cerdic. Looks to turn the corner. Flop inside shot just wide. Penn will give up possession on that too. Ryan, how do you teach a young man to make sure he hits the cage with that shot?
Well, that's all that practice. More so, who had the backup responsibility? So you got to have some sort of rotation back there, assuming that a miss occurs so you can retain possession.
1 minute to play. Coach Albarisi motioning for his guys to pull it up top, settle things down. And DeWitt gets it over and gets it back.
Yeah, I'm holding for one here for Army heading into halftime, down 3 or ideally 2. But don't give the ball back to this dangerous Penn team in transition. And again, O'Brien out of the box on a short stick.
This is O'Brien. Gets it up top. Next a shot goal. Absolutely destroying the corner. Army. What a shot by Nate Jones.
Army goes back to the well one more time. You'll see O'Brien draw the attention of the defense. Laban does just a hint of a ball watch. He doesn't even hedge. But Nate Jones is that dangerous of an outside shooter. You can't let him get his hands free. He is lethal from the outside.
Second goal of the night for Jonesy. Army on a 3-0 run with 11 seconds left. You gotta watch Penn faceoff guy Kyle Gallagher right now pushing it forward.
He's a pinch and pop specialist.
Gets it down to Licciardi, who can't handle it. Now we got a little bit of a battle going on, and that will do it for the first half. Coming up on the halftime report, what a great halftime we have for you. We have a preview of Virginia versus Robert Morris. We have a look ahead to the Towson, Maryland matchup start of the third quarter. And it is 7-5 Penn over Army right now. We are going right to the face-off. Minor technical difficulties here on site. We will get you halftime highlights and stats. Kyle Gallagher wins the opening faceoff. He's back to his usual tricks, as is Tyler Dunn, number 3 for Penn. Winner of this game goes on to play Yale. This is the NCAA tournament. Penn surged out to a 4-0 lead. Ooh, shot rings iron. Post Malone showing up in the second half.
Goldner, just one of the top shooters in the country. Want to point out that Army is shutting Handley with a short stick.
What a play by Pryor, and we got our first flag of the game. And I kind of disagree with the call, but what I think doesn't matter.
Yeah,
here's Matthias.
We'll take another look at it later, but I like the aggressive play by Pryor there.
Matthias going against Surdick. Barreto whiffs, now Surdick scoops. Surdick, not known as a wild takeaway guy like an old Pat McCabe. He's more of a John DiTommaso, where he plays great position. They called him for a hold there. It didn't. I'd love a replay of that. I think he did a lot of things. Hold him might not be one of them.
Yeah, let's take one more look at this. You'll see Pryor come off of the pick. I think because Dunn went to his feet or kind of tripped up a little bit, that's why they called it. And you can see Alberici does not agree.
And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the work the officials do. Without them, we couldn't play the game, so thank you. But I didn't see a hold there. Penn man-up offense. Here's Dunn. Behind him, Matthias. Man-up coming in, clicking around 40%. Handley is top center. Matthias gets it to him. Playing pass with Matthias. Handley. Skip pass. Inside feed. Picked off. Great play by Tommy Rigner. Coach Alberici went on and on about Tommy Rigner and his ability to just have a way to make it. Rigney, speed ladder, shuttle work, jump rope routine, wall ball routine. Rigney found a way to make a difference in this program, and Coach Alberici sings his praises every time you talk to him. Army, West Point, Manown. great plays in the first half. And here is Manown doing that inside roll he scored on before. No push call in the crease.
Great patience there by B.J. Farrar. Manown went to that inside roll one more time, waited for that trail check and executed.
Piper Bond with the clear, getting pressured by Army West Point's Matt Manown. Here's Rosner. Lully gets it back up top, Licciardi. Licciardi, step into his left, bounce pass, another appearance by Post Malone. Ball goes on the ground. Nice lap check attempt, but Penn maintains possession. Here's Rosner. They get a full reset of the shot clock with the post. Oh, what a rip by Adam Goldner. Griffin Schultz, number 11, D'ing up for Army West Point. As we see goaltender A.J. Barretto barking out the slide calls. Great backside feed, no angle for Lully. Wraps around, goes high. No dice, Licciardi with the backup.
Long possession here by Penn with that reset. Army's really got to dig deep. This is where it helps to go 4 deep at the short stick defensive midfield position.
Rosner roll dodge, flips back behind him. Matthias swim move, inside shot, goal! Simon Matthias got that Bob Barker suit game in Plinko with his style. Money.
He is going right at Surdick, the Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. You can see Matthias stop on a dime, and Surdick seems to overrun the play, but just by a half step, and that little swim move gets him to the inside. The Penn bench loves the pay dirt after that long possession.
And you got to hand it to the Penn bench. Kind of a mature response. A lot of these celebrations get a little bit out of sorts. So yeah, I kind of appreciate them just saying, "Hey, we scored."
Well, this offense has put up a lot of numbers this year.
Tyler Dunn with a just phenomenal ground ball again. He's been compared to the great Chris Flynn, multi-time All-American here at Penn. And in the crease, and that could have been a push just like it was at the other end. They called neither one consistent. They called neither one.
Yeah, I mean, he dove there. He just got kind of like awkward position.
Anthony George catches the clearing pass from goaltender A.J. Barretto. And Brendan Nickturn kind of held scoreless there in the first half. Interesting turn of events there. Nickturn comes in as an absolute stud for Army West Point. Nickturn 30 and 50 on the season. DeWitt, Army's only second possession of this quarter. Nickturn looking to make an impact on the game. Oh, what a fake! Have your face up.
Yeah, he's gotta bury that one. A beautiful rocker step. Ivanchik got a little confused there almost, but lost his balance. That's one that you know Nickturn wishes he had back. But between him and Garofano, those are the two guys that Army's got to get going.
Here's DeWitt. Gets it over to Manown. Inside feed. Silva can't gather. And Junkin collects. Jared Warner with the clear out of Freeport, New York. And we get a moving pick call, procedural violation. flips it to Nick Turn and heads off. DeWitt gets it across the field. Silva working inside. Nice play by Nick Turn to try and get the backup, but they give it to Junkin. Army looking to set up their ride. Penn with the efficient clear.
Watch Hanley coming off the midfield line. Big head of steam here.
Bartolo gets it to him. Hanley left side alley back to Bartolo, and now it's Simon Matthias. Licciardi gets a half a step, doesn't like it, gets it back to Matthias. Goldner down on that left wing wants something. Hanley. Now it's Licciardi. Nice move by Licciardi, shot clock at 25. Pass bobbled. Oh, what a strip check. That is filthy by Johnny Surdek. And that is a flag.
Delayed penalty here for Army, so great opportunity.
Possession of this quarter. They have played a lot of defense as we are at the halfway mark. Third quarter, 8-5 Penn. Penn surged out early. Army reeled it back in with a 3-goal run mid-second quarter. Nice low shot save by Junkin. Brendan Nickturn turned to the corner. Let's learn of the foul.
Penn is fortunate that this is just a hold.
Yeah.
At live speed, that's not a hold. That is a cross check to the head. And that is my reaction to the holding call.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, let's play.
Army man up. Kyle George Jallis, the coach. Here's Nick Turn. Down the wing, shot just wide. Keep your eye on 28, Nate Jones. There he is, 5 seconds left in the 30-second hold call. And that's the huge difference, Ryan, between the 30-second and the minute. You can run 2 plays in a minute. You can run 1 in 30. Penalty is expired. And here's Nick Turn, top center.
Good matchup here.
Silva tries to bury his shoulder into the zone that Penn looked like they slipped into. And Licciardi pushes up. Here's B.J. Farrar. Simon Matthias hits the trailer of Licciardi. Farrar staying in. B.J. Farrar, the former Under Armour All-American.
Good pressure there by Hudgens. Getting on Penn's hands. When you do that, you disrupt the offensive flow. Penn actually had numbers, but wasn't able to do anything because of Hudgens.
A shot fake as Lully now looks to turn the corner. Here's Hanley. Bartolo, hard bouncer. Army West Point goaltender A.J. Barreto looked like he tracked that well. Backside feed. Tyler Dunn gathers.
I agree with you, Booker, and they did not call a reset. So short clock here for Penn.
Matthias able to dodge on the short stick, and Surdek comes quickly on him. He picks up the assist. Great shot by Goldner. 9-5, Penn surges ahead. Army had some momentum. Penn knows they're the Ivy League champions for all the right reasons.
Adam Goldner is so lethal off ball. And here, Army just creates offense. I think Surdick just goes way too early. Matthias, patient, dissects the defense, and Penn senses a little run.
Tonight after Top Rank Boxing, don't miss SportsCenter with Kenny Mayne and Steve Levy. They'll be joined by Scoop Jackson to look at the impact Zion Williamson could have on New York. Plus, analysis and reaction from UFC 237, including what's next for Anderson Silva, and a report on Dwayne Haskins from Redskins rookie minicamp. SportsCenter, midnight Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Lacrosse coverage continues Saturday, May 18th for the quarterfinals at noon Eastern, live on ESPNU. For more information on the 2019 Men's Lacrosse Championship, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Off the Goldner goal, Army sends out number 77, Kyle Byer, to face off. Gallagher wins it. Barreto slams the door. Ball kicked out of bounds by Army West Point. And it's going to be Penn ball.
Huge save there by Barreto to try to put this Penn run in check. Army hasn't scored in over 7 minutes. Third time they haven't scored in 7 minutes. Currently a 10-minute drought. And Booker, this is why it's still somewhat of a close game. For as dominant as Penn has been at the faceoff X, they just cough the ball up far too often. They are letting Army West Point hang around.
Penn defense has played fantastic. You look back at the history of Penn defensemen, guys like Pat Pendergast and Evan Weinberg serve as captains for these teams. And now it's a whole new, brave new world as we get the wraparound. And just like that, Army cashes one in. That is Sean O'Brien. Came into the game with 18 goals on the season. O'Brien closes it to 3.
He has been the difference maker for the Black Knights. This is his second goal of the game, inverting against a short stick. Nothing fancy here. If you're Penn, you got to have somebody ready to go. And then you got to have a second slide ready to go, or just don't slide from Nate Jones. 4 of Army's goals have come off of that action. Sean O'Brien showing selflessness. Attackman running in from the box, attacking that short stick.
Stick checked, and they're going to give it to Penn. Army ends a drought of 11 minutes and 16 seconds with that goal, as Tyler Dunn possesses for Penn. Nice drop off by Bartolo, but a turnover. Army West Point defense. This is the time in the game where this defense has to literally talk about drawing a line in the sand, dude. Across this line, you do not.
And they've demonstrated that ability all season long. This has been the strength of the team.
A clearing mishap, and B.J. Farrar will gladly collect that ball. And here's Tyler Dunn.
Tough matchup here.
Matthias on a short stick. Inside feed, ball goes to the turf and scooped by Penn. Shot never makes it through.
Numbers!
Surdick, and here comes Army West Point on the fast break. Shot goes wide. Backed up by Miles Silva. And Ryan, you played point on the fast break for a decade. Well, what's the decision there, shooting rather than bump it down to the low right guy?
Well, I liked Nick Turn's decision there because actually Army West Point was substituting out of the box. They didn't have a true clean 4-on-3 fast break. And Nick Turn's been aggressive all season long. So he didn't really have a lot of options.
DeWitt gets it behind. And now Army West Point in black. Penn in their home whites. Nick Turn bobbles it, and it will go all the way back. That's over and back and out of bounds. Matthias against Surdick. Matt McKelrick. Gets it now, it's Rosner. Rosner played on that Team USA Under-19 World Championship team. Hanley, shot, saved with the legs by Barreto. You want to talk about courage, Ryan. How do you have the chutzpah to get down and let yourself get hit in the leg by that shot?
Back and forth action here. I think you just got to be a little insane, right, Booker? I mean,
you and I know enough goalies. Here's B.J. Farrar inside, feed Simon Matthias, shot, goal! Give the assist to B.J. Farrar. But the save at the other end, the action up and down brought us to 10-6 Penn with 1:03 in the third quarter.
That look on Coach Alberici's face says it all. That is not the style of game that they want to see. So much of Penn starts with the senior in cage. Junkin stands tall. Clean save means we're going the other way. We've got numbers, and Farrar has been just such a catalyst with their transition game. He is a threat. He is athletic. He is smart. He finds the senior Matthias, who gets the hat trick.
Gallagher, quick clamp, wins it back to himself.
1 minute.
And he gets it to Tyler Dunn.
And that's a huge one because now Penn can hold for one and really have an opportunity to stretch this lead. So this could be a big 2-goal swing here, Booker.
Number 6, Alex Rosner, high school attackman. Clock now at 17 seconds, and Rosner will go. Head up, looking to feed. Outside roll. Gets a step inside, lobs it in, and Army West Point collects the loose ball. And that'll do it for the third quarter with a 4-goal differential. Penn ahead of Army. Both teams getting into the fray. We got an exciting fourth quarter no matter what.
Army came back in the fourth to win the Patriot League. Can they do it again to keep their season alive?
A Men's Lacrosse Championships is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And Old Spice. Men have skin too, you know.
Fourth quarter, set to go. There's your score by period. Both teams enjoying a 5-goal quarter at one point. But clearly Penn has gotten the better of the play. Simon Matthias with the Hattie as we get ready to go. Big difference in tonight's game, Ryan, has been the anticipated advantage of Kyle Gallagher. He wins faceoffs every which way you can.
Yeah, but Army, this has been kind of what they've had to fight against all season. When you look at their games against Loyola and Lehigh, so this is not new territory for them. As Dunn runs through 2 black-net attackmen, he really can do it all, Booker. I mean, this is why he was drafted by the Redwoods in the PLL. He is a swift Army knife, wings, defense, offense. Brings so much to the table.
Bartolo gets it behind Mrs. Lully. Now Simon Matthias. Matthias buries his shoulder down and then pushes it behind. Handling. Bounce pass over. Bartolo, now it's up top with Dunn. Shot. Dunn gets his recommended daily allowance of iron as the referee finds a way to keep his footing.
Reconstructed knee, I don't need that.
That is the third time Penn has hit the post this half. Post Malone, no shortage of his action. There's that short stick D-midi defense by Army. Tenacious D. Ball in and out of the stick of Handley, the freshman. And then an odd line by Rigney. Inside shot. Barreto going for the backup. You love to see the hustle out of that senior.
Ill-advised play there by Rigney, or decision by Rigney. Risk versus reward at the midfield line there with Handley.
Done. Shot. They ring it again.
So is Wesley Pipes, is that a dated reference now? Is it just Post Malone? There's no Wesley Pipes anymore. No Wesley Pipes.
And RDA, recommended daily allowance. Here's Matthias. Going against Johnny Surdick. Rosner, left side.
So Rosner substituted on, and they're going to get a full second midfield line change. These long possessions are so hard to defend.
Rosner, change direction at X. Gets it to Handley. They call for in the crease.
Yet another Penn turnover. Army's got numbers if they want it.
Interesting decision by number 28, Jones.
It's tough, Booker, because it's not their identity, right? It's not the way they play, and yet the opportunities are there and they present themselves. But if you make a mistake, you go back and you got to play defense again. And that was such a long possession. You've got to have your defense in mind.
Sean O'Brien behind the cage. O'Brien gets to the middle. High pass collected by Nick Turn. Nick Turn, highly touted coming in with 80 points. And there he gets D-twagged by B.J. Farrar. And here come the Quakers. Trying to gobble off more than they could chew. And Army gets the easy free clear. Garofano, the sophomore.
We talked about Nick Turn, a freshman phenom, 30 goals, 50 assists coming into the day. And he has been held in check, to say the least.
Nice dodge, nice save by Junkin. Rebound, we get a crease violation. Manown driving hard to the cage. You talked, Ryan, about Manown scoring that big goal against Navy. I know Navy's now looking for a new coach. Their assistant coach, Ryan Wellner, one of the great young coaching minds. He's going to be considered for a lot of open jobs. As Penn just kind of ices it into the corner.
Gotta love the Penn student section with the Junkin cheer there. Usually if a goalie's getting his name yelled, it's by the opponents. Right? They were in Philly, the old Philadelphia Wings. It's all your fault, right? I mean, that's the line, right, Book?
Turnover number 20 on the day for Penn. I mentioned that, and they're comfortably ahead. Usually a team with all those turnovers is struggling to get back in it.
Comfortably ahead, but Army has been in this position before.
Liam Davenport now getting some run. Both coaches with both timeouts remaining. Here's DeWitt. DeWitt goes alley. Manown draws the slide, U-turns, crazy Ivan shot. He gets a post. Silva rebound, goal. Army feeling it. The beast in me is caged by frail and fragile bars. Is that a post off there?
It was a post.
Frail and fragile bars.
Beautiful move here by Matt Manown. You'll see the re-dodge, the little okey-doke, the midfield rocker step. It rings off the post, and Silva inside. Johnny on the spot. Such quick hands. And he will add to that incredible point distribution. That is his 39th goal. And he's still looking for his first helper on the season. I love it. It says everything you want to know about his game.
The pride of Point Vedro, Florida. Somewhere Ray Carnicelli is smiling. That ends a 9-minute and 39-second drought. And looky, Army wins a face-off. Go on and get yourself some, son. Evan Condon.
He's so surprised he doesn't know what to do with it. George is standing at the midfield line, just like, throw the ball. It's fine. You just throw it to him.
First win since late in the second quarter of a face-off. 10-7.
You can feel the juice, right? I mean, the Army bench, the Army fans.
Behind the cage, isolation. DJ Farrar slides out on the ball. Not the guy you really want to go. It's DeWitt. Inside feed. They're trying to force it into Silva. Ball goes on the ground. Army, great man. Ball shot. Goal! How you like me now? Everybody jump around. The Black Knights. 10-8.
We talked about repossessions. This is a turnover.
Yeah.
This is a 50-50 ground ball. You'll see the force feed to the crease right here. It's anybody's.
Great man ball.
The Black Knights come up with it, and in that helter-skelter moment, O'Brien to Jones, that has been the answer for Army today. That's Jones's third. All three have come from O'Brien.
2 goals in 50 seconds for the Black Knights. Gallagher wins the clamp, ball goes on the ground, and he backflips it. That is a nifty little backflip by Gallagher. And now run for his life, Matt McKelrick, the British Columbia native. McKelrick, more of a short stick D mini guy, not that all offensive guys like the Maricheks and the Gates that come out of British Columbia. He certainly...
If anybody out of British Columbia is going to live up to that bar, I mean, come on.
I agree. You are so right. Hanley down the wing. Lully gets it across. Matthias took Surdick once. Surdick took his lunch money a couple times. McCarty now. Oh, McCarty. Pass was deflected but gathered. Lully comes around, likes what he has. A.J. Barretto slams the door, but Matthias gathers. And we get a shot clock reset. Matthias, left to right, little crazy Ivan top side. Feed scooped by Barretto. And Matthias created something with that crazy Ivan on the near side. Got top side, but then tried to feed rather than sling. DeWitt relinquishes over to Garofano.
I would expect them to go back to DeWitt. He's got a favorable matchup with the offensive midfielder stuck on.
Garofano has O'Brien behind and gets it up to DeWitt. DeWitt against Licciardi. Now it's to O'Brien. O'Brien, quick shot coming around. Junkin finds it and now gets it to Licciardi, who quickly goes cross field. And here's Warner for Penn. Clock trickling towards the 6-minute mark in a 2-goal game. Surdick stalking Matthias. And Matthias does the right thing. Open chance for Rosner, shot, goal! Dr. Roz!
Just a total breakdown here by the Black Knight defense. Very uncharacteristic. They just kind of lose Rosner in transition here in the substitution game.
Here is Rosner as 2 guys for Army go off, and Rosner destroys the lower corner. And he sees the substitution error. That is a full-fledged. And there is your proverbial hot sheet. The upper bracket of the NCAA Lacrosse Championships lacrosse coverage continues Saturday, May 18th for the quarterfinals at noon Eastern, live on ESPNU. For more information on the 2019 Men's Lacrosse Championship, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Yale winners today, Loyola winners today, 11-8. Alex Rosner scored the last goal for Penn. The steely-eyed assassin coming out of the substitution change. And here's Gallagher doing what he does. Pass hits the turf. And a lot of pressure on Goldner, applied by Schultz. But Penn is able to gather. 5.5 minutes to go. And here's Rosner. Behind him, Matthias. Surdick on him. Up top now, Hanley. Hanley, great vision, gets it inside. Tyler Dunn, couple shot fakes. And this is Dr. Roz. Rosner, double team, carries it. Officials letting him play a little bit. Rosner looks a little tired right now. I know I'm not the analyst, but I can analyze that. Pass picked off by Barreto. Brian, following on my point, is this an example of the offense getting a little tired?
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
But they certainly have had ample chances.
Sniper shot. Junkin takes that off the foot. And a great backup. That's Army ball. That's a great call. We're right here watching that right at our side of the field, and that was a great call. The Penn fans obviously don't like it. Army West Point coach Joe Albarisi's ready. The last goal was their ability to mark at 8, dude. Now they're looking for that beauty number 9.
And they're continuing to go back to this O'Brien versus a short stick matchup. Wisely carries out of trouble so he can exploit this behind the cage.
O'Brien against Farrar.
I love what just happened. Keep the short stick on O'Brien. He's got 2 goals and 3 assists off of that action.
DeWitt inside, feeds, still the backside shot. Tries to fling it over his shoulder.
But back to that earlier action, there's no reason to do a big little there. Let O'Brien attack the short stick as Army jumps into a 10-man, look for the shot. Oh, the beautiful bomb.
And he lobbed it deep with 3 seconds left on the clearing clock. There's an 80-second shot clock, and you have 20 seconds to get it out of your end. So that was almost a necessity.
Yeah, and Thornton did a fantastic job of identifying the 10-man. There was no pressure on him. Eyes up. You got to look past that first wave.
Gagar gets it over. Shot, goal! Simon Matthias coming around the corner low to low, and Penn stretches it. Speed dodge.
With the way Penn faces off, this might be the proverbial nail in the coffin. You can see Rigney just overextend. They've got to try to create some sort of turnovers. Surdick helps. And there's no backside rotation to Matthias, who just cashed in his 4th of the day. He is stepping up. This is his 3rd game with 4 goals on the season. And his maturation over the course of 4 years is really one of the biggest reasons that Penn team has ascended in the ranks within the Ivy League and the national scope.
Quick face-off win by Gallagher. He gets it to Gart, and now it's Tyler Dunn.
Yeah, Penn can feel it here. And with how much Army has played defense, Booker, you saw it on that last one. Rigney's just gassed, right? I mean, he chased down Rosner to the midfield line, the possession before. They're just exhausted.
Kyle Gallagher, face-off star for Penn. The Hofstra transfer clearly having an impact on the proceedings today. Here's Rosner, open net, shot, goal. Alex Rosner with the hat trick today.
And just to zoom out here, Booker, as Penn stretches this to 5, you look at Gallagher, the Hofstra transfer to Penn. The game before this, T.D. Erlin, right, the Albany transfer to Yale. We're going to see them for the 3rd time this season. We'll take one more look as Rosner buries the empty netter.
First hat trick of the year for Rosner. Picked the right time to do it. And Ryan, there's that huge belief and argument in lacrosse when you're up by a couple, do you shoot on the empty net? When you're winning all the faceoffs, why wouldn't you?
I mean, part of it is you could run some more clock off. You don't really need the goal, but I won't kind of bore you with all of it. But certainly, yeah, if you're going to win the faceoff, it's fine. And it's a strategic response to someone pressuring you, right? I think the flip side is you don't really need to score again. We don't really have in lacrosse a good version of like the kneel down, right? Because like I don't feel like getting checked like 3 million times. As
and you did.
Oh yeah,
and you did.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just roll the ball in the corner.
But, like we need like a strategic kneel down. Like Licciardi's like, look, I won't go to the cage if you just stop back checking me.
Yeah.
This is the last minute of play. Regulation time.
Bennett Taylor playing defense. Taylor doing everything he can to dislodge the ball. Licciardi just playing smart. 28 seconds on the shot clock, and Coach Murphy's going to take a timeout, let Licciardi rest, and get some ice on his back and his shoulders and sleeves. Nice shot of the Penn huddle. Piper Bond, number 54, did all he needed to do. A lot of times, talk about the role of short stick D middies and how sometimes you get a kid coming out of high school who's a star offensively, but you need him to take a certain role.
Yeah, I mean, and certainly they're some of the best athletes on the field. Speaking of athletes, Simon Matthias, I just want to highlight him. He has stepped up. We've talked about this one-on-one matchup with Surdick. Arguably the best defenseman in the country, Booker. I mean, this is the first defenseman drafted to the PLL, and Matthias has not been afraid to go at this matchup. You saw it in the Ivy League tournament against Fake. We're going to see that again in the next round as they'll take on Yale for the 3rd time. But his maturation on the field as a leader, he makes everybody around him better. We highlighted Handley. Matthias has been huge today.
Let's take a look at the Capital One player of the game, Simon Matthias. And Ryan, he's done a lot of things today. That last goal that they showed him scoring was a speed dodge, and that's an element you're going to need going to the quarterfinals. If you want to advance from there, you need to have multi-facets. If you can take a defenseman like Surdick and still score 4 goals, you're doing something, and you're able to lead your team somewhere.
Yeah, when I look at this Penn offense, Matthias, Goldner, Handley, Dunn, between those 4, they just present a lot of problems and really tough matchups, and they can attack you in a variety of ways. And then you tack on Rosner with the hat trick today and what he brings to the table. There's a lot of interesting pieces that offensive coordinator Coach Abbott gets to play with.
And you talked about Coach Abbott and his impact on the program, and Coach Murphy in our conversation certainly sang his praises. Coach Casey Aketa doing a great job as well as the shot clock expires with 14 seconds left. Army, great season, unbelievable 9-day stretch. They win 3 games. They win the Patriot League tournament. A real feather in their cap for Coach Joe Alberici and his staff.
Yeah, you can't sing that staff praises and these individuals' efforts enough. I mean, what they contribute to our country, to our society, obvious. What they did this year in terms of overcoming adversity, 3 games in 6 days is truly amazing. And then they gave Penn all they could handle despite getting dominated at the faceoff X. And when I say dominated, Penn had a statistical advantage of 22-3. So they just embraced that role. And then I think offensively, they threw everything they could, right? They tried to sneak Nickton out of the box. They did sneak O'Brien out of the box. Nate Jones stepped up today. This staff has a lot to be proud of. And they are young, Booker. They play a lot of youngsters.
Yes, they do. Coach Murphy bringing them in. Huge credit to our guys in the truck today, Todd Jones, Charlie Vanacourt, and, of course, back in Charlotte, John Vasallo and John Kettering doing an amazing job. It's a tough feeling. We've all been there where Coach Al Barisi, you see his hands on his hips a little bit as the Penn huddle. Those guys are ecstatic. You've been also in that position where you're going to the next round. What's going through their mind prep-wise and planning-wise?
Well, I think Coach Shea made a great point. It's been highlighted a couple times elsewhere. But right now, the pressure is equally distributed, right? Everybody, it's win or go home. So it's not like, oh, I got this, atlas on my shoulder. It's like, no. Everybody is playing with the exact same amount of pressure. How you respond to that tension. And for Penn, those 3 early season losses, 2-by-1 goals, they didn't, put it in the tank, right? They didn't fold. Came back, rattled off 11 straight wins, now 12. So clearly they have embraced these